Network Plus versus the CCENT. All right, folks. I want to talk about this. If you're going into the networking path uh, as an entry level network technician, if you're trying to go into networking, if you have no network experience before, networking information you're learning, you have two entry level exams that you can take. One of which is the Network Plus, which is offered by the CompTIA. Uh, and it's vendor neutral. Obviously, CompTIA is very well known and established as being one of the best entry level vendors that you can associate with when it comes to getting IT certified. Um, their Network Plus uh, gives you a very thorough look at networking from a hardware standpoint, from a base level theory standpoint. You learn about TCP, you learn about the OSI model, a little bit about the DoD, I think. I'm trying to remember. It kind of blends all together because I went from Net Plus to CCENT to CCNA in 3 months, so I'm trying to remember. But yeah, some base stuff like that. You learn about SMTP ports, POP3. All the stuff. Networking. Um, and you have the CCENT, which is the Cisco Certified Entry Network Technician. Okay, so get it out the way. I recommend that you take the CCENT over the Net Plus. Why? Well, this is why. The CCENT is Cisco's new entry level certification before the CCNA. You get it for taking the 822. I'm trying to remember what was the dash before, the abbreviation before, but the 64822, and it costs $125. If you take part two, which is the 640 you earn your CCNA, right? So you get closer to earning your CCNA if you're going to go eventually down that path. If you want to become a networker, you might as well, right? CCNA, it's a good entry level certification for Cisco if you're trying to go down the networking line. So if you take the CCENT, what's going to happen is that you're going to cover most of, if not all of, the networking plus material. You are. Okay, I went through the CSIN information. I had a book. I had the Mike. I had not Mike Myers. I'm sorry. I had the Wendell Odom, Todd Lamal, or Lamley. I don't know how to pronounce it. Books for the ICND one and the ICND two as well. I had Boson Practice Sim, Packet Tracer. Uh, what else did I have? Boson practice exams. I had uh, their router sim. Um, in preparing to get my CCNA, I probably spent $700. Um, I thought of it as an investment on myself. Others don't have to spend as much. I say that you can get away with preparing. You can get away spending maybe less than $100 to tell you the absolute truth. And I think it's well worth it. The Network Plus costs more than the C Cent. It costs, I think the Network Plus costs $250. The C Cent costs $125. The CCENT teaches and covers the things that you would learn in Network Plus. So, like I went through the CBT Nugget series, and I am not kidding. The first 17 videos were nothing but Network Plus material. I literally, and the thing about me was, is I said that I'm going to go through this as if I didn't know anything about networking. So I forced myself to go through the same material that I had just previously went through, and I mean like the first 17 videos, Network Plus type stuff, the stuff that you need to know to pass the Network Plus. So, in that regard, you get the Network Plus requirements and education and treatment earning the CCENT to me. Okay, you're going to know what Network Plus technicians know. So what's the point of getting a Network Plus and then getting the CCENT when if you get the CCENT, you're going to cover the Network Plus? Now the additional part is that obviously you're going to learn about the Cisco way. You're going to learn about RIP routing. You're going to learn about a little bit about routing and switching and command line, right? That's that's a bonus. That's big time, right? So I mean, pretty much. And this is what I'll say. I'll say that like 70% of the stuff that I studied for the ICND1 for the CCENT was covered in Network Plus. So, in that regard, if I had just studied the CCENT, I would have covered pretty much 90 to 95% of the Network Plus stuff. And that's the part where you're saving. You're saving money. Number one, you're not paying $250. I mean, people might not, CompTIA might be upset with me. You know what? I don't have an issue. If look, look, I took the Network Plus. I got that. Then I got my CCENT. Do I recommend that the Network Plus be taken? Oh, you can take it. No problem. If you want a great foundation, if you want to be able to easily transition into the CCENT stuff, then guess what? Go. I mean, the reason why the CCENT was so easy for me is because I took the Network Plus. If I had not taken the Network Plus, then what had happened was it would have been a little bit more difficult because I wouldn't have had that easy transition. I would have been learning the material for the Network Plus in my fresh beginning learning the CCENT without the Network Plus. But what I'm saying is that you're going to learn the same information anyway. So you might as well learn it in the CCENT format, right? You learn in the CCENT format, okay, get your learn about the routing and the Cisco switching and all that and learn and earn your CCENT. Um, CCENT is an it's funny. I don't even know if the CCENT is as popular as the Network Plus because the CCENT is not one of those buzzwords. Okay, when you see CCENT, you don't think, oh God, this guy knows a lot about networking, or this guy has a good networking foundation because Network Plus has been around so long, and the CCENT has been adopted in, I think it was like 2002 it was released or something like that. I don't know, but most people take the composite exam, the 802, for the CCNA. They go straight to the CCNA. They don't even get the CCENT. And when they do if they do take both exams, they don't list the CCENT. So what happens is that people don't realize that the CCENT is a step over the Network Plus. To me, it's Network Plus, CCENT, CCNA, obviously, right? So if you get your CCENT, not only did it cost less, it probably only took like, I'll say add a good, and you know what? You could probably add like a 3.5 weeks to your studies, just because when you cover the actual versus, like while you're like say it took you, and this is just an example. Say it was going to take you 3.5 weeks of, about 2.5, 3 hours a day worth of studying to get your Network Plus, right? It would probably require you to extend out those weeks from 3.5 to 6.5 if you was going to get your CCENT, just because you're going to have to learn different concepts when it comes to routing and all that good stuff, right? So the thing is that yes, it's more time, but you're going to save so much. Well, you're going to save $250. Number one, you're going to save the redundancy of going through that material twice, and you're going to have a certification that takes you on the cusp of having your CCNA a lot faster than having the Network Plus would have, and then studying completely separately for the ICND1, and then passing that, and then getting the ICND2. You're going to be halfway to the CCNA. Okay, so that's big time to me. Uh, when I had my A plus for like a year and a half before I got any other cert. This year I finally just decided to start, getting my education up with this because, I had been putting it off, and I got, I was young. I am still relatively young, but I didn't really care too much about, just focusing and hunkering down. But now, I'm trying because I'm getting older and I want a house, a nice house, and I got a kid on the way, and I want a nice place for them. I want some nice things. I want to be able to provide and have, good foundation. So, uh, A plus, you get certain calls with the A plus, right? You get calls for a technician between the price, or you'll get calls for $14 an hour up to $20 an hour, mostly. Okay, for A plus, they usually desktop. The highest I got was desktop level 2 with just my A plus, and I was lucky because I had been doing contracting work. I'm still doing contracting work. It's very hard to, and I'm going to make a video about contracting. But bottom line is this, I don't want to, take away from this. The CCENT, the Cisco Certified Entry Level Network Technician, Cisco Certified Entry Network Technician, uh, um, covers all the stuff that you would need in a A plus. I mean, in a Net Plus, right? So my recommendation is if you are going to be trying to do this on the most optimal path, I would say skip it. I say skip the Net Plus. Most I say skip it. If it's a choice between both, skip it. If you have the funds and the time and the resources to do both, go ahead. No problem. They both expire every 3 years, right? So, you don't have any benefit there. But if you have both, people will just say, they'll know that you are thoroughly more, ingrained into networking. But the CCENT, it's a little bit better. It's a little bit more difficult because of the added components that are Cisco related. Um, but both of them are very nice entry level search for networking. And if you're on a help desk, you already got your A plus, or you're a desktop technician and you got your Net plus. Later. Like I said, it can only help you if you were, if you say you were making $18 an hour as an A plus, hardware breaking and fixing guy, and you got your Network plus, or you're on a help desk for the same amount, um, definitely I think that you can earn at least, maybe $2 more an hour, two and a half more dollars an hour. Um, it might be hard, but I would recommend that you say, hey, I got this now, so let's up that little, that loose that change. It's hard out there. Trust me, they'll get you for as low amount as you're willing to accept. So as you start to stack education, certifications, and experience, you need to start making sure that you recognize that you have a value that's only increasing and that will continue to increase. So, if you're at A plus and you're around $18 an hour and you get your Net plus, you can start asking for, 19 and a half to $20 an hour, for your positions if it's a contract for your next one. Um, you always want to let them know that you still continue your education. If you get your CCENT, you know, I just say go straight for the 20. Uh, they probably won't give you 21 because they don't know what the heck a CCENT is. But that's when you're starting to talk about, starting to establish a bottom line that that at minimum that you're worth in terms of just your knowledge base. So yeah, my recommendation is the ICND one for your CCENT certification over your Network Plus. Network Plus is a really good exam too. But you might as well get the CCENT because to me, it's probably only 25% more difficult, and the Network Plus isn't that difficult at all. Okay, relatively speaking. Um, so that's my recommendation. All right.